Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. Here we've got a couple of big targets who will try to be key contributors in both the pass and run games today. It's Julius Thomas's Dolphins going up against Ebron's Lions. With that, it's time to hook up with our commentators in the booth as we turn it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL sends us to the state of Michigan as we are inside Ford Field in downtown Detroit. A few short moments ago, these two teams made their way out of the Ford Field tunnels, and the noise level in this place just about off the charts. They are set for football as the Lions get ready to do battle with the Miami Dolphins. And welcome again, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Larry, he took a moment to highlight the tight ends that we're going to see in this one. I know in our production meeting we were talking about what we wanted to highlight pregame, and you said tight ends. Why did you say that?
Because it can be such a matchup issue for defenses nowadays, because these tight ends, they're oversized guys, but they can run as well. So who are you going to cover them with? If you use a traditional linebacker, they're usually going to run past those guys. If you're going to use a smaller corner, maybe they'll be too big. Can a safety match up and run with them and also use enough bulk to keep them from just having their way? So many ways that tight ends are used nowadays. They're fun to watch.
So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a former Pro Bowl quarterback out of the University of Georgia, Matthew Stafford.
Matthew Stafford is a big-arm guy who's learned how to temper some of his throws. Actually has added a lot more touch and accuracy as his career has gone along. Big-time confidence in his arm, though. Any throw you want, he can make it.
Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. Theo Riddick, he's at the 30, 20, touchdown, Detroit. Theo Riddick, 71 yards, and the Lions are going to take a first-quarter lead. The very first play from scrimmage, how about that? Talk about setting a tone.
And people always talk about doing exactly that in the first 5 minutes of the game, the first offensive and defensive series. Who's going to gain an advantage? Well, we saw exactly what happened there. A tone was definitely set by the offensive team.
It's up, it's good, and the Lions lead 7-0. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now come the Miami Dolphins. They get set to go on offense. You discussed their quarterback position, Charles, into the offseason. Last year, obviously, it was Jay Cutler. Many thought that's just a one-year placeholder. And Adam Gase says he envisions Ryan Tannehill being the guy next year.
I would agree with him totally, and I'd be surprised if anything else actually happened in Miami. If Ryan Tannehill is healthy, he will be the starting quarterback in 2018. They were so excited about his progress and so fired up about what possibilities existed for him in 2017 before the knee injury. Jay Cutler, you nailed it. A one-year placeholder. They did play David Fales a lot in the last game of the regular season to see what he had, but I think there will be competition for the backup job in Miami next year, but definitely not the starter.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. They stay on the ground with Drake. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. But expanding a little bit on Kenyon Drake, interesting year because hardly used early on. Then Jay Ajayi goes to Philly, and he took over as the Dolphins' lead back after that trade.
And was never a lead back in college. He was always that accessory piece who helped him in the special teams as well. So we'll see what the Dolphins decide to do in 2018. See if they give him a little competition at that spot.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. A look now at the Miami offense.
I always find it interesting that when we have conversations about the best wide receivers in the NFL, it's not often that Jarvis Landry's name rolls out right in the first group. But when you evaluate what he does overall, his body of work, his ability to break down defenses once he catches the ball and gets downfield and people bounce off of him, then you realize he's one of the top guys out there.
Throwing on third down, Tannehill. He sets to fire deep. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's fourth.
As my dad used to tell me all the time, when you're getting ready to play a big-time game, especially when you have one going into a dome setting, you better strap it up tight because that crowd can really affect things.
Especially on third downs like the one we just saw there with the incompletion. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. So let's discuss the Detroit Lions as their offense makes their way back out there, Charles. Last 3 years, including a playoff loss in 2016, they're 25 and 24. They're going to have a new head coach, of course, Jim Caldwell, let go at the end of the year. And, you know, it always seems like the Lions are stuck right in that middle ground. 7 and 9, 8 and 8, 9 and 7. Can they make that jump to go higher than that?
One would think so, but I think they're going to need to add some pieces to their team because, as you noted, right in the middle ground, they can throw the heck out of it, but they can't run it on offense. On defense, they got a little bit better against the run, but what about the pass rushers? Because Ziggy Ansah played hurt most of the season, couldn't be his normal explosive self. They've got to get some more help there, some extra people at the second level at linebacker in order to keep up with the high-powered offenses in the NFC North.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Off of play action. Here's Stafford. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Play clock winding down. Here's Riddick. Stiff-armed him. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 12 more yards there and another first down. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
Time running out here on the play clock. Back to throw, Stafford. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's second down. And let's run through the Dolphins defense.
When Kiko Alonso first made it to the NFL, all I could think about was remembering him playing in college. And there's a wildness to him. There was also a control as well. Always around the football, and when he arrived, you knew that he was there, and then he'd fool you at times too because he'd pick off a pass and return it for a touchdown. You say, where did all that speed come from? I thought he was a total package coming out of Oregon.
Back to the air, Stafford on second down. To the right side to Eric Ebron. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
The play clock's running down.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Still third down.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Out of the gun, Stafford. He's going to let one fly for Tate. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. Jakeem Grant back deep for Miami. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. And just one tick to go, so this will obviously be the final play of this first quarter. Drake will start the drive on the ground. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 1 quarter down. 7-0 is our score. We're back to the Motor City after this. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out. Draw play. Tannehill gives to Drake. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up there to swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big boys to protect you from them. But on that play, the defensive tackle had the leverage, and he won the battle. No gain, correct?
No gain. Here's Tannehill. He'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And down he'll go at the 25. Well contained there defensively. The screen gets only a yard, and it's 4th.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at the 18. 12 yards on the return that time, and the Lions will take over. Before the offense changes hands here, let's look back at the Super Bowl February 5th. What a game. I know you were there calling it offensively, though. Impressive on both sides.
It certainly was, and let's face it, if you're in Minnesota, it's cold outside, but you talk about the offenses, they heated up in a big way. And how about Nick Foles, the backup quarterback turned MVP? 373 yards, 3 touchdowns, and, of course, the big one receiving on the Philly special.
Quite a story. As you and I were talking about off air, it was just a fluid game, not a lot of penalties, just really clean play.
Exactly the type of game the NFL needed for the audiences at home watching the game and, of course, people in attendance. A really well-played game.
A gain of 6 there on first.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. With a carry. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
But that's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. Second and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a third down.
Third and 2, Stafford. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Cameron Wake in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to fourth down. Here's Sam Martin now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Larry Ridley will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. And this will be taken at the 13. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And it'll be Dolphin football. I want to give a hat tip real quick, Charles, to J.J. Watt before the possession switches here. Walter Payton, NFL Man of the Year, and they totaled up how much he helped raise for hurricane relief, $37 million.
Incredible. Hurricane Harvey, which really hit the Houston area in a big way, and his original goal was $200,000. So congratulations to J.J. Watt and all the people who participated. And Greg Olsen of the Panthers, Benjamin Watson of the Ravens, both tight ends, also nominated.
Looks for Parker, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
CD, I want to get your thoughts on some potential free agents this offseason before we change the possession here. Now, caution, many of these guys could be re-signed, I know, but who are some of them? Kirk Cousins is one.
Yeah, we're talking about difference makers. Kirk Cousins at the quarterback position. He's going to be coveted around the league for quarterback-needy teams. Case Keenum had a big year. Could he move? But how about running backs? Le'Veon Bell, Dion Lewis, some pass catchers, Jimmy Graham, Jarvis Landry, Sammy Watkins. And about the guy who goes and gets quarterbacks, DeMarcus Lawrence had a monster year for Dallas last season.
Yeah, a lot of big names that could be out there as free agents. On 2nd and 10, Stafford. Ebron with it over the middle. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
Jumpy on the right side of the line.
Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump, and that's exactly what happened there.
On 3rd and 2, Stafford. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and the lead moves to 10-zip. So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us want to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit, taking over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
Now it's Martin to do the honors after the made field goal. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here's Ryan Tannehill and the Dolphin offense back out onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
He dumps it off to Drake. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Tannehill on first down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jared Davis. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
So the football switching hands here in just a second. And, you know, Tom Brady, just to go off on a tangent for a second, may have lost the Super Bowl. But 3rd MVP this past season, and what he did at age 40, really something, right, Charles?
Absolutely phenomenal. Ended up beating out Todd Gurley, the running back for the Los Angeles Rams. But he would have traded it for a Super Bowl win, don't you think? How about this? The last 9 NFL MVPs to play in the Super Bowl that same season, 0-9.
Yeah.
You go all the way back to Kurt Warner in, what, 1999, where he won the double?
We were going over that stat earlier. That is hard to believe.
But he would have been the MVP had the Patriots pulled that one out.
Yeah, he still has 5 rings, though. 5 Super Bowl titles for Brady. Second and 10, Stafford again. It's complete to Golden Tate. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. The Lions on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Now Riddick. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Now a first down throw, Stafford. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down, Golden Tate, his intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down. Well, in tapping those toes, he tried to get both in bounds. He could not do it, though.
In tap dance parlance, could not complete the shuffle. All right, needed to get that shuffle down with both feet, not just one.
Is that what they say?
There it is. You know, put a little sand down on the stage.
I'll take your word for it, my man. Now Stafford. He finds Whittick complete. And he is out of bounds, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And the offense lining up 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, is intended target. And it's 2nd down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. And on 2nd and 10 now. Throwing again. Stafford. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. So it goes down as an 8-play drive, and they cap it with the field goal.
Yeah, they were able to pick up a few first downs along the way, but they couldn't keep the momentum going all the way into the end zone.
Now it's Martin to do the honors after the made field goal. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. So we've reached halftime here in Detroit with the Lions out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports halftime report. Larry?
All right, Brandon, back to you guys in a minute. But first, it's indeed time for our EA Sports halftime report. The Lions are happy to be sitting in the locker room with the lead. The Dolphins won't panic either. They know they just need to take it one play at a time. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Lions on offense early in the first. Riddick's got great blocking here, and he'll run it in from 71 yards out as they take a 7-0 lead.